Contracting Conversations. My name is Scott Williams and I'm joined by my co-host Jim Bally. Today we are continuing our conversation with Judy Whalen, DAU's Learning Asset Manager for Con 7300V, the Price Analysis course. Welcome back, Judy.
It's good to be back. Thank you, Scott.
Well, we're happy to have you. You're welcome, very much welcome. Judy, please tell us about Con 7300V, the Price Analysis course.
I think in the price analysis course, the students can fairly expect what the content might be. We are focusing on the basics of pricing as well as the 7 price analysis techniques that are provided in FAR. We recently changed the format of this course, so let me describe it in more detail. The course has changed from 5 days to 8 days. We felt that the 8-day format would be more appropriate to give the students more time to learn during the in-class exercises, and that will help them with the assessment at the end. We do have a mandatory office hour the first morning of class as a sort of meet and greet and to go over expectations of the class. And we also have a pre-course assignment that is self-paced, that needs to be done before the start of class, as well as self-paced lessons for the first 3 days of class. This pre-course, along with the first 3 days of class, all have knowledge checks that will help the students to ensure that they are learning the information appropriately and that they're understanding the material. A student taking this course as a refresher will be able to work through the material actually in a casual manner, and because they kind of understand a lot of it, they'll be able to go at maybe a quicker pace than some new students. The new students will probably need to take more time with the course to make sure that they understand the processes and the material. Either way, the students will be able to maintain their normal workload, or at least some of it, as self-paced days are not a full-day commitment. It's important to point out that while students are working individually, the instructors are on hand at all times for any questions or concerns. They can post questions in the virtual classroom, or they can join daily live office hours to ask questions or discuss topics directly with the instructor. Days 4 and 5, the entire class will get together and work through practical exercises that have both individual and classroom discussion components. Finally, days 6 through 8 utilize a simulation exercise as the course assessment. The assessment will cover 3 separate pricing cases over the next 3 days. The students will be able to instantly see their scores with a daily cumulative score shown at the end of each case, as well as a cumulative score at the end of each day. If the students do not achieve a passing grade in the assessment, they'll still have an opportunity to come back the afternoon of the final day and work through their weak areas with the instructor.
All right. Thanks, Judy. So, obviously students are going to ask the big question. How are they assessed for this course?
This course is assessed based on the simulation, so the last 3 days of class and those 3 separate pricing cases. Students need an 80% on that combined simulation to pass the course.
Okay, great, Judy. So in addition to the simulation exercise and the live office hours, what are some other aspects of this course that you might think students will appreciate?
I really think the students will appreciate the flexibility of the class. If they've already seen the pre-course or they've taken it in another class, they can test out of that lesson, and so they may not even have to take that portion of it. The self-paced material is broken down into daily assignments, so students can complete them at their own schedule or as their schedule allows, as long as they're finished with all the pre-course and the self-paced lessons prior to the start of day 4. The course is set up and has daily student workbooks, which contain most of the content, but there are also videos, articles, and activities to reinforce material, and I think they will keep the students engaged. Days 4 and 5 have both individual and classroom exercises, and each exercise will conclude with discussions on the why behind the answers that are presented based on the exercises provided.
Okay, great. Thanks, Judy. So thank you for coming on again.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
All right, so that's Judy talking about Con 7300 price analysis. We are going to be doing another session here pretty soon on Con 7310, so be on the lookout for that one. That is all the time we have for today. If you haven't already, subscribe to our Contracting Conversations channel. Type any comments below to include your questions for future discussions, and spread the word of this channel to your peers and those your supervisor lead. Let us help you answer their questions. And realize you can find this not just on DAU Media, but YouTube and Apple Podcasts. We look forward to having future contracting conversations with you.